London, 1888. A chill settled over the city, not from the autumn air, but from fear. A killer stalked the cobbled streets. His name, whispered in terror, was Jack the Ripper. Gaslight flickered on damp streets. Shadows danced, hiding secrets. The stench of poverty clung to Whitechapel, a haven for the lost and desperate. His victims, women, vulnerable and forgotten. Their lives cut short, their deaths brutal. Jack the Ripper, a nightmare made flesh. Whitechapel was a labyrinth of squalor and despair, overcrowded, impoverished, and rife with vice. Prostitutes, driven to the streets by desperation, became easy prey. Their lives, already hard, were cut brutally short. Jack's reign of terror magnified the darkness that already clung to the district. The police, overwhelmed and outmatched, struggled to maintain order. Fear became a constant companion to the inhabitants of Whitechapel. August 31st, 1888. The body of Mary Ann Nichols was discovered. Bucks Row, a narrow street, became a crime scene. Her throat slashed, her abdomen mutilated. Panic gripped Whitechapel. Rumors of the murder spread like wildfire. The brutality of the crime shocked even the most hardened police officers. Who was this monster preying on the vulnerable? The question echoed through the streets, unanswered and unsettling. September 8th, 1888. Annie Chapman found lifeless in Hanbury Street, her throat cut, her abdomen savagely mutilated. The brutality escalated, the killer growing bolder. Witnesses emerged, their accounts fragmented and often unreliable. The fog of fear clouded memories, hindering the investigation. The police, desperate for a breakthrough, followed every lead. But Jack the Ripper remained elusive, a phantom disappearing into the London fog. September 30th, 1888. The air was thick with an eerie fog, shrouding the cobblestone streets in a blanket of mystery. The gas lamps flickered, casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of the night, a night etched in infamy. The city was on edge, the tension palpable. Every creak and rustle sent shivers down the spines of those brave enough to venture out. 2 murders, mere hours apart. The clock ticked relentlessly, each second bringing with it a growing sense of dread. The streets, once bustling with life, now lay silent, save for the distant echo of hurried footsteps. Elizabeth Stride, found in Dutfield's yard, her throat cut. The scene was gruesome, a stark reminder of the evil lurking in the shadows. Her life, snuffed out in an instant, left the community reeling. Her killer interrupted, his gruesome work unfinished. The police, baffled and desperate, scoured the area for clues, but the darkness seemed to swallow every trace of the fiend. Catherine Eddowes discovered shortly after in Mitre Square. Her fate was even more horrific, her body a canvas of the Ripper's twisted artistry. Her body bore the full extent of the Ripper's savagery. The brutality was unimaginable, each wound a testament to the monster's insatiable hunger for violence. Her face mutilated, her organs removed with surgical precision. Terror reached fever pitch. The meticulous nature of the mutilations suggested a mind both brilliant and deranged, a killer who knew no bounds. The Ripper was unstoppable, his bloodlust seemingly insatiable. The shadowy figure, a phantom in the night, eluded capture, leaving a trail of fear and death in his wake. London held its breath, bracing for the next inevitable attack. The newspapers screamed headlines of horror, the public's imagination running wild with tales of the Ripper's next move. The city, once vibrant and alive, now cowered under the weight of an unseen terror, waiting for the dawn to break the nightmare. November 9th, 1888. Mary Jane Kelly, murdered in her room on Miller's Court. The most horrific scene yet. Her body mutilated beyond recognition. The brutality of the act sent shockwaves through the city. The Ripper, it seemed, had reached the pinnacle of his depravity. Then, silence. The murders stopped. Jack the Ripper vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. In the heart of Victorian London, a city shrouded in mystery and fog, the hunt for Jack the Ripper became an all-consuming quest. The streets, cloaked in darkness, whispered tales of fear and speculation. The investigation into Jack the Ripper's identity became a desperate search for answers. Police officers and detectives, clad in their Victorian uniforms, scoured the crime scenes, piecing together the gruesome puzzle. The air was thick with tension as the city held its breath, waiting for a breakthrough. Suspects emerged from the fog of fear and speculation. Each shadowy figure in the misty streets of London became a potential suspect, their every move scrutinized by a terrified public and a relentless police force. Montague John Druitt, a barrister who committed suicide shortly after Kelly's murder, was one such suspect. His respectable profession and sudden death, coinciding with the end of the Ripper's reign, fueled suspicion. Was his demise a tragic coincidence, or did it mark the end of the Ripper's bloody spree? His death, coinciding with the end of the Ripper's reign, fueled suspicion. Newspapers of the time were filled with sensational headlines, and the public's imagination ran wild. The graveyards of London saw mourners, not just for the victims, but for the fear that gripped the city. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant living in Whitechapel, was another prime suspect. His background and presence in the heart of the Ripper's hunting ground made him a figure of intense scrutiny. Deemed insane and exhibiting violent tendencies, he became a prime suspect. Kosminski's erratic behavior and eventual confinement to an asylum only added to the suspicion. Was he the madman behind the murders, or merely a scapegoat in a city desperate for answers? Walter Sickert, a prominent artist known for his macabre paintings, also found himself under the shadow of suspicion. His dark and eerie artworks, coupled with his fascination with the Ripper case, made many wonder if his art imitated life in the most gruesome way. His fascination with the Ripper case and his movements during the murders raised eyebrows. Sickert's presence in the art galleries and his studio, where he created his haunting pieces, became points of interest. Was his art a mere reflection of the times, or did it hide a more sinister truth? The mystery of Jack the Ripper remains unsolved, but the shadowy suspects continue to intrigue and terrify, their stories woven into the dark fabric of Victorian London. Each suspect a piece in the puzzle, yet none fit perfectly. Druitt's suicide, while suspicious, lacked concrete evidence linking him to the crimes. Kosminski's mental state made him a convenient scapegoat, but his physical ability to commit the murders was questioned. Sickert's morbid interests and access to anatomical knowledge were intriguing. But without conclusive proof, his guilt remained speculative. The case of Jack the Ripper, never solved. Theories abound, each more outlandish than the last. Was he a doctor skilled in anatomy, a butcher accustomed to blood and gore, or was he something more sinister, a monster lurking in the shadows of Victorian society? The lack of answers only deepened the mystery, fueling endless fascination. Jack the Ripper, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of civilization. In the foggy streets of Victorian London, his presence was a shadow that loomed large, instilling fear and dread in the hearts of the city's residents. His crimes, a stark portrayal of the vulnerability of the marginalized. The victims, often women of the night, were left to fend for themselves in a society that offered them little protection. The Ripper's heinous acts highlighted the stark divide between the rich and the poor, the powerful and the powerless. His legacy lives on, not just in the annals of criminal history, but in popular culture. The fascination with Jack the Ripper has transcended time, becoming a symbol of the ultimate unsolved mystery. His story is retold in countless books, each offering a new theory or perspective on the identity of the elusive killer. Books, films, and television shows continue to explore the Ripper's legend. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie documentaries, the tale of Jack the Ripper captivates audiences, drawing them into the dark alleys of Victorian London where the mystery began. The case remains unsolved, a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the dark fascination with the macabre. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains shrouded in mystery. This unsolved case has become a symbol of the unknown, a puzzle that continues to intrigue and baffle historians and amateur sleuths alike. Jack the Ripper, a ghost story whispered through time. His name evokes a sense of fear and curiosity, a reminder of the darkness that can exist within humanity. As long as there are questions left unanswered, the legend of Jack the Ripper will continue to haunt the corridors of history, a chilling echo of a bygone era. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest uploads of mysteries from history. Thanks for watching.